My ex used our daughter's money to fund expensive hotel stays with her employees, so I kicked her out. Now she doesn't have a roof over her head and begs me to help her out. I was in a decade-long relationship with the person mentioned in the title. We have a child together who is in first grade. Recently, I discovered she was siphoning from our daughter's money I would put away every month, as well as using her salary to fund expensive hotel stays with one of her employees under the guise of work. Ex had signed our daughter up for some of the best extramural activities with some of the most reputable places in the country, karate, ballet, etc., which is expensive. She paid none of those bills barring the initial month's payments and drew cash which she said was to pay those. The owners of those schools are now after me for the money, which is in the dozens of thousands. I have instigated legal action, but until that happens, I am on the hook for the entire balance. I called her out on this as soon as I'd found out, and her new guy's reaction was to send people to my house to clean up everybody living in it, for lack of better terms. Her reaction to that? I antagonized him by confronting her, so no foul in her book. I am blowing it out of proportion despite multiple voice notes and text messages. I kicked her out of the house due to the obvious danger in this, and her new guy cannot help her with a place to stay. Without giving too much away, she earns less than half of what I do and he earns a quarter of what she does. She's currently couch surfing around her friends' places while he allegedly lives with his mother in a studio apartment. Recently, she contacted me to ask me to co-sign a lease with her as she doesn't have any other options. I want to help her because I care about her. I also feel she has made her own bed and should lie in it alone, or with that guy. The consequence of all this up and down is that legally, he's not allowed anywhere near our daughter anymore, so the two of them moving in together would likely mean she cannot see our daughter anywhere that isn't neutral ground, because I don't want her at my place. She knows this, and this is partially why she asked for my help, as if the other guy signs with her, he will want to move in with her. Should I feel bad and help her out? Update. My now ex has voluntarily checked into a shelter/home for women whose lives have come off the rails tonight, and after speaking with them, they've assured me that she is indeed there tonight and that they test for drugs as part of the admission process and as part of the ongoing board/lodging requirements. It warms my heart somewhat that she understands that she needs help. This covers the roof over her head temporarily and makes sure she is on the straight and narrow for the next little while. I think it may be too late to salvage our relationship and trust, but I wish her the best in recovery. Update 2. Today was a frustrating one. It was the restraining order hearing and he, AP, didn't turn up to court. It is important to note that while I have an interim order against him, we have to complete this stage of the process to get a 5-year/10-year/permanent order instated, as the interim expires at the end of February. Judge insists that there is not enough in the dozen voice notes, 4 call recordings, and 7 pages of pretty explicit text threats to deliver a verdict in absentia and set another date for April so he can be allowed to tell his side of the story. For those of you who have asked about calling the cops/going the legal route, this is why I have zero faith in my local justice system. Update 3. Old stuff. AP did not show once again on the court date and they furnished me with a cop-out order. Basically, if he approaches me, turns up at my house, etc., I can have him arrested. No actual punishment was handed out. A month ago, ex convinced a friend, this will be important later, to co-sign a lease with her a few miles away from my residence. She and the AP moved in together 2 weeks ago. Newish stuff. AP was thrown out and nearly arrested after lashing out at her violently, believing me to be trying to woo her back via text. AP has told a mutual friend between us that I was texting my ex all manner of flirty and provocative things. I knew nothing about this. A week ago, present day, I find out that she had my name saved as a smokescreen on her phone. The friend she co-signed with was the person she was really exchanging inappropriate texts with. When AP looked through her phone and found my name sending nudes etc. in her messages, he flipped out and confronted me over the phone. Thank the Lord for WhatsApp screen share. I quickly showed him that I had nothing to do with any of that. The friend she co-signed with proposed marriage. She accepted, which she insists is we just met each other at the right time, which she wants me to believe was a week after breaking up with AP. Unfortunately for her, it is not difficult nor illegal for me to find out who is on whatever property's paperwork. I suppose in essence, she was seeing someone behind my back for at least 2 years and used this other junkie as something to get caught out on deliberately while waiting for myself and that junkie AP to potentially seriously maim, or worse, each other while she eloped into the sunset with this other bloke and our daughter. I don't know what to make of any of this. I thought I was recovering really well until I got wind of this, and now the levels of deceit are hurting me something awful. All the nights of eating canned beans and bread, sometimes not eating at all, so our daughter could eat decently every night when we supposedly didn't have money. Ex was never hungry, which I found out was because she was eating full meals at swanky restaurants before coming home from late shifts. All of it was because she was spending money in our joint account on 2 different dudes. Final update. Ex and I are on speaking terms when it pertains to our little one. While it has not been much, she has contributed somewhat to tuition/school costs over the last 2 months. For reference, the current split on the essential costs is approximately 85% from me and the remaining 15% from her. She and the original AP co-signed on a lease about 10 minutes drive from my house, and just about a month later, they broke up. She was almost immediately engaged to someone else. He seems nice, to be fair, and the original AP was out of the picture. These people all work for the same company and it seems she's the manager. I know this for a fact with the original AP, not certain whether the new guy reports to her as well. I'm tired, guys, working my day job, 50 to 60 hours a week, and doing a whole lot of side jobs to make ends plus full-time parenting, while she's living her life on the other side. Admittedly struggling, but a lot less stress than I have. We're getting back on our feet slowly but surely, but this is soul-crushing, to say the least. I've basically lost all the money I'd earned in the past 16 years through all of this, and her constant response is, but it was your choice to support me when we were still together. I found someone else, so that's nice. We were an item from 2010 to 2014 and we're just in 2 very different phases of life at the time. Now we're back together and she's been wonderful, helping support where she can mentally, emotionally, and even financially on occasion. Of course, I pay that back as soon as I can each month, and she doesn't want to hear no when I ask her not to pay for certain things or go above and beyond for myself and my child in making our lives easier. Even though she has her own kids, she's literally been paying off some of the bills behind my back, and it's so sweet it scares me because I don't know affection like this. Is it PTSD I'm going through?